My name is Carol Burmeister Pritchard, and I am the chair of Interfaith Outreach.
And I'm Susan Stewart. I'm the vice chair.
Interfaith Outreach has been in existence for the past 5.5 years. We initially started the organization to feed people in our community who are hungry. Since that time, we have organized a couple of other programs that we do in the community. One of them is the Backpack Kids program, which you can see going on behind us. We partner with All Faiths Food Bank. We have 8 different faith communities or organizations in the community that work with us. And we organize it through the All Faiths Food Bank in terms of delivering the food. And twice a month we have a group of people that come to this facility and we pack backpacks for over 300 children in the community. The other program that we started several years ago is the Cold Weather Shelter. This is a partnership between the faith communities and the Red Cross. We initially started with the Center of Hope, and that's where the site was for the Cold Weather Shelter. Since then, they are in the process of moving, and we are hosting the facility at Grace United Methodist Church. What happens is the Red Cross provides the cots and the blankets. Interfaith Outreach provides the volunteers and the food. The community dinner program has been going the longest. That has been going 5.5 years. What we do is we rotate the dinners between 4 different sites. We have 4 different faith communities where we do the dinners. We have approximately 45 to 50 people who attend the dinners on a weekly basis. The people who come to the dinners, there are about 1/3 of them who are homeless. About 1/3 of them are either single people or couples who have lost their jobs. They may not be homeless, but they're probably living on the edge, could be losing their house or their apartment at any point in time. The other 1/3 are a combination of families with children and our seniors. And by senior, I mean people who are in their 90s, and we have at least half a dozen who are in their 90s already, and many who are in their upper 80s. Many of them have no family. They've lost many of their friends, and this is a way for them to get out of the house and to be able to socialize with others in the community. And we have found that many of our homeless individuals have befriended our seniors and kind of watch out for them when they're at the dinners and help them, etc. The grant that you so kindly gave to us was $550. We have spent that money. I can tell you that our dinners cost on average less than $3 per person, and that includes second helpings. We have chefs at each of our sites. They produce wonderfully hot meals. There is always a fresh salad. There's always meat and either potatoes, rice, or some kind of starch. We always have fresh fruit at the dinners as well. We have about 10 different faith communities who provide the fresh fruit for us, so our guests can either eat the fruit at the dinner or they can take it home with them. One of the things that we have been trying to do is to provide more fresh produce at our dinners. Obviously, the fresh produce costs more money, and that's partly what we use the money that you have given us for, is to buy more fresh produce. Many of our dinner guests don't get a lot of hot meals during the week. In fact, we have people who will come into the dinners and say, "Oh, I haven't had a meal in 3 days. This is the first one." We'll have seniors who will come up to us and say, "Oh, thank you for these dinners," and they'll give us a hug. And many of them are at an age where it's very difficult for them to cook for themselves anymore, so they truly appreciate the dinners. Families who are on food stamps are having a hard time making a go of it. It's difficult for them sometimes to make it through the month with their food stamps, and so the dinners are a real boost to them. Many of them have local food banks that they can go to, but they're limited in terms of how much food they get there and how often they can go. We do have one gentleman who, when he first started coming to the dinners, brought his father to the dinners. He moved here a number of years ago to take care of his father. His father was elderly, in his 90s, could no longer take care of himself. So he quit his job where he was living, moved here, was unable to find a job, so he was unemployed taking care of his father and found out about our dinners. He now is coming to the dinners by himself. His father has since passed away. Several of us from Interfaith Outreach went to attend his funeral. This young man appreciates the fact that he has the dinners and appreciates the friends that he's made at the dinners. We thank you for providing us with this grant. It's greatly appreciated not only by us as the operations committee, but by our volunteers, and particularly by the guests that come to our dinners.